personal. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to give a little review on the top rank undercard. Just two things on the undercard, really, just two things. Two of the standouts on the undercard. We'll start with speaking of standout. We'll start with the fighter that I've been high on for a long time. You guys have been following this channel. You guys have heard me talking about this fighter for a long time. And that's none other than Cleveland, Ohio's very own. That's the Southpaw sharpshooter. They're calling him the Southpaw Pretty Boy Floyd, which I think, yeah, that's great, but, let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's very good. But Abdullah Mason, very good fighter. He had a fight on the undercard, and he got a second-round stoppage. Now, I can't remember his opponent's name right now because, as you guys can see, I'm walking. But domination again. And I just feel like I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it again. And it's funny because now everybody's starting to say it, but I was saying it before it was popular to say. Abdullah Mason is the best top-ranked prospect, and I may just have to readjust that statement. He may just be the best prospect in boxing because, he's 9-0 now. I believe 7 or 6 knockouts. I could be wrong, but something like that. He's shown a lot. He's fought some guys that have been tough, that have, even given him a little bit of resistance, but he continues to show that, he has a great blend of speed, accuracy, punching power, the ability to finish. And I really like the fact that he throws combinations, right? Because it sounds so simple, like, yeah, I like that he throws combinations, but like you think about a lot of the fighters in and around his weight class, Devin Haney, Shakur, all these dudes. These dudes come from like the Money Mayweather school of thought, and I like Floyd Mayweather, but I'm saying like they all grew up watching Floyd towards the end of his career when he was more of a counterpuncher and he was in his 4th or 5th weight class and his hands were brittle, right? So a lot of fighters that watched that growing up, they mimic the fact that Mayweather was a counterpuncher, and then when they go to the pros and they try to put that into their styles, they don't themselves throw enough punches to win fights, and it's very annoying, right? Because even when guys are 3, 4, 5 levels better than the competition, they don't ever want to go the extra mile to show that, they're better and make a statement and knock guys out. And like with Abdullah, he's not like that. He can obviously box if need be. He's got that in his locker. He's got that in his skill set. But Abdullah Mason's a killer. Abdullah Mason's coming to throw combinations and put your lights out, and that's why I like him. I like him. I like fighters that have the ability to be defensively sound and box if the situation calls for it. But I love a fighter that when he is in the ring with somebody that is 3 to 4 or 5 levels, he's better than them. He treats them as such. Too many fighters playing with their food in boxing. So yeah, to me, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna quadruple down on my statement. I think Abdullah Mason is the best prospect in Top Rank, and I think quite possibly he might just be the best prospect in boxing. I've had the opportunity. I remember when Abdullah came down here for sparring earlier this year, because he had a little stint down here in South Florida where he came to some gyms, him, his dad Valiant, his brothers Amir, Ibrahim, Abdurrahman, Adil, the whole Mason 5 was here. And they were looking for some sparring, so they hit me up, and I set up some sparring, and I had a front row seat. I saw Abdullah spar twice down here in South Florida, and I had a front row seat to see what this kid could do. And I've seen a lot of fighters over the years, different gyms all over the world, here in South Florida, in the West, in the Northeast, in the Far East, in Japan, all kinds of fighters. He's really one of the better talents I've seen, and I just think as long as he keeps going, as he says in a lot of his interviews, boxing will dictate who he fights. So as long as he keeps winning, the Keyshawn Davises and the Floyd Schofields and all the other young hitters around 135, he's gonna be matched up with them. And truthfully, I'm saying it like this: when he fights them names, them other young guns at 135 that his name gets linked to every now and then, I'm picking him against the field. I don't see guys. I don't see anybody as well-rounded as he is. And the thing about Abdullah is that he continues to want to learn, and it seems like he's 19 now, so he's really just a kid. He can't even drink yet if he wanted to, right? But the thing about him is, it seems the older he gets, the more he's growing a hunger for the sport and love for the sport, and that's a amazing thing, and I hope that continues, because as fighters get more attention and more notoriety and things like that, sometimes they don't work as hard. Sometimes they grow a little bit content. But he doesn't strike me as someone that'll be like that, because just of his demeanor and his family structure and the support system. So, yeah, for me, for my money, the best prospect in boxing right now is Abdullah Mason. Steve Kim, the great writer, he calls him the Butcher. I like that nickname, Abdullah the Butcher Mason, because that's what he does. He goes in the ring. He don't say much in the interviews. He's soft-spoken. And he goes in the ring and he turns into a straight dog, and he butchers people with knives and pitchforks and all kinds of crazy stuff. When the proverbial knives and pitchforks would be his left and his right hand. So, yeah, great performance from him this past weekend. Switching gears, right? The other fight on the card that I thought was really interesting was the heavyweight fight, the co-main event. It was Arslanbek Makhmudov, the scariest looking man in boxing. The guy don't even walk out with music; he comes out with sirens. He took on, a guy that I'm very familiar with, because he made his name down here in the South Florida fight scene, in Raphael Akpejiori. Now, Raphael Akpejiori had a good record on paper, but when you check under the hood, and I know his resume pretty well, he didn't really fight any live bodies. It was guys that were hand-picked for him to knock out. And to his credit, he did that for the most part in his career. Damn near 100% knockout ratio coming into the fight. But this was a big gap in experience when you consider the fact that Makhmudov's been boxing since he was a kid, and Akpejiori just picked up boxing 6 years ago. Now, mind you, Akpejiori comes from an athletic background. University of Miami standout, college basketball player, had a stint in the NFL, damn near made the NFL with the Miami Dolphins, but boxing wasn't always his first sport. So he's been learning on the job, sparred the likes of Usyk, Hrgovic, was in camp with Usyk for the second AJ fight. And the fight was real ugly. I mean, I remember in the first round, Makhmudov threw an overhand right, and it barely clipped. It looked like it grazed Akpejiori. But when he got hit with that shot, I saw his body language, and what I saw was a fighter that pretty much looked like, okay, oh, damn, I'm in a real fight now. I'm not in a club fight now. And his legs looked real unsteady, and that's why I think you saw a lot of holding, because when he got hit with that first shot, he felt real heavyweight power under them lines with 8-ounce, with what is it, 10-ounce gloves, or what is it for heavyweights when you fight? Is it 10 or 12? I can't remember. But lighter than what they use in the gym. And Makhmudov did what he was supposed to do. He got him out of there in 2 rounds. I respect Raphael for taking the fight, but sometimes fights are what they seem to be. They are what they seem to be on paper. Sometimes you don't got to overthink certain fights, and this one is one of them, right? So Makhmudov beats Akpejiori. And what could be next for him, right? Because the top-ranked stable of heavyweights is definitely growing. You got, obviously Jared Anderson's the one making a lot of noise. I like that fight. I think that fight's a great. It would really put Jared in a position with a natural-sized heavyweight with good amateur pedigree, who can punch his lights out if he's not careful. And we saw Jared make the mistake of being close to a fighter and pulling straight back, right into punching range. And that could be his ultimate undoing if he fights a guy like Makhmudov. So that fight would be great. I don't think Top Rank will make it, but if they do, credit to him. You got that fight. They just signed Jalolov from Uzbekistan. That could be another one, but I think Top Rank will probably move Jalolov in the direction of a Richard Torres Jr. So, there's some good fights out there for Makhmudov. He could fight someone like F.A. Jagwa, Stephen Shaw, something like that. Everyone keeps saying Filip Hrgovic is not that good. I dare Top Rank to put him in there with Hrgovic, because I think if Makhmudov fight Hrgovic, Hrgovic's gonna beat the crap out of him. I think he'll beat him pretty soundly. But good win for him. So those are my thoughts on his fight, Akpejiori. And then last but not least, I didn't get a chance to watch this fight, but I heard about it. Jahi Tucker, he fought Nicholas Floss, a guy named Nicholas Floss, who I know because he beat Brian Ceballo, right? I think he beat Brian Ceballo. He handed Brian Ceballo his first pro loss. I didn't see the fight, but from what everybody that watched the fight told me pretty much that they thought Tucker did enough to win the fight. Everyone that watched the fight told me, and I've seen it on Twitter as well, that for the most part, Tucker wasn't as good in this fight as he was in the Nikolai Shekniazuli fight, but Jahi Tucker did enough to win. And it's unfortunate he lost, because I feel like I really do feel like Top Rank did not want Xander to fight him. I really feel that way. And even though he lost, I still want to see Xander fight him. I still want to see that fight. I know Xander, like, I'm not going to say he didn't want the fight, but he was kind of big-timing him when he was asked about Jahi Tucker. I still want to see it because I feel like Jahi Tucker's a good fighter, and I don't think he really lost that fight. And so it'll still be a good fight. But, yeah, those are some of my thoughts about the undercard, just the key fights and the key moments. I know I missed some things, but that's what stood out to me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.